and listen, so they will be recapping. So I request Karnataka, one of the members, to recap yesterday's session. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Father Dennis Davis Capuchin, Rector of Darshana Institute of Theology, Bangalore. Yeah. Your Excellency Bishop Varghese Chakalankal, Patron of Arms, Reverend Father Charles Leon, Secretary of Arms, Reverend Father Richard Brinto, President of Arms, fellow Rectors of Arms. Recap of Arms 2024 on 7 November 2024, day 3. The leadership was taken by Karnataka region, led by Father Joshua G. Morning prayer at 6:30 a.m., led by Father Anthony Swami, OSM. OP. Then Bishop Varghese Chakalankal, Bishop Patron of Arms, the main celebrant of the Holy Eucharist, on the theme Saint Peter as icon of inclusive mission. On Go and Invite to the Banquet, Matthew 22, 1-14. He, in his introduction, exhorted the arms rectors to be the salt of the earth, the salt and the light of the seminaries. He carried forward the themes of previous 2 days of Moses and Elijah, and today he presented the model of St. Peter, who was given the mission of making fisher of men by Jesus. Bishop listed 5 points: the gift of faith, a gift of sharing, gift of acknowledging our sinfulness, gift of mission, and gift of the church's inclusivity. At 9 a.m., Father Paul Kanak Paricha, OCD, presented the recap of the day 2. Secretary of Arms, Father Charles Leon, circulated the departure list of the participants, announced the program of the day and of tomorrow. Father Anthony Swami, the Treasurer of Arms, made appeal to the contributions towards the hosts of GTI, who have been rendering their enormous services to us. Father Paul Puduseri, CSC, continued his input session on reshaping priestly formation in a world of AI, artificial intelligence. He gave his contact number, which is there, 940-2168-195, and also the email address in case you want to contact him. The sessions began with the question and answers, the salient features of which are as follows. We are not triggering the intellect of our seminarians and their vision for tomorrow. We need a paradigm shift. We do a lot of extrinsic input, not intrinsic. Tensions, fears among formies are there. To address them, we need to create a contract between the formies and the rectors for 3 years at least, and periodically it has to be evaluated. We require to come to specifics such as how many books you wish to read. But then, how do I know you have achieved the target? At the end of the semester, the rector and the candidate need to evaluate the contract together. At the end of the semester, the rector and the candidate need to evaluate. Thus, you have transferred the responsibility over to the candidate. You become a facilitator. No fear factor for neither the formator nor for the forming. Father Paul offered to provide us a format that would be useful in this exercise. Policy intervention. You need to know what, how, where, and with whom to speak, especially with the government agencies. Mediocrity, he said, is creeping into our seminaries. Hence, we need to rework on our formation policy. He pointed out that 80 to 90% who left the seminary prove that we are not doing wrong. We only need to be more proactive. He observed that gossip, politics, rivalry for positions need to be reduced. Challenge the seminarians to make attempts, eliminate self-limiting belief system. Let them learn how to plan and manage their own time. Priests of today and tomorrow must be Renaissance priests, men of culture and of faith. Coming over to the core session, as a continuation of yesterday, he focused on the theme, forget the past, living the present with the future vision. Candidates are disconnected today, imperfect, broken, having their own wounds of the past. Added to that, they belong to a digital generation. Apart from intellectual and emotional health, the candidates need good food at a growing stage and not at an old age, he pointed out. Make them work, let them grow chicken enough to eat in plenty. Assessing our candidates, queuing candidates to articulate their prior knowledge is necessary. Can be done in group discussions, restructuring existing knowledge with new, stimulating analytic knowledge and storage and retrieve it as and when necessary. Local formation, a locus of formation. Formation residing in the group. Collective formation from cook to the rector. Collective formation as a lens. Formation residing in the system formation resides in the systemic dynamics. As a rector, it's your responsibility is that the ecosystem is in place. Every action that takes place in a seminary has a focus, walking with and walking along. Apply the parable of the Good Shepherd, create the right signs, recommend actions for implementation. Journaling 1 page a day is a must for the program, which should include a para on each of the following. A book, for example, that was read. 2. Analysis of what has happened. 3. What you have learnt. In 5 months of time, change will be seen. Culture is a venue. NAPIC, Crisis of Catholic Seminarians, the book, and Pope Francis, Gaudete et Exsultate were cited. What direction should I take would be the question of seminarians. It's the rector's responsibility to harness the energies of the candidate in this direction. Dwelling on AI, artificial intelligence, started explaining what is AI. Stimulating human intelligence. AI is your slave and not your master, and not vice versa. What is the leadership model we want to give to our families? To witnessing Christ, he pointed out. Where there are Christians, the life is different. Preach always, as St. Paul said. We are bombarded with information, how to filter manufactured news. Artflow, AI, Canva software as the tools could be of use, he pointed out. Give the best mobiles to your students, but remember to enter into the contract. The days of preventive pedagogy is gone. Random checking is necessary. How to harness the power of technology, empowering minds for now and for the future. Enable people to face the challenges of life and cultivate resilience. Finally, in conclusion, Father Paul shared his own testimony of losing one of his eyes over a gun attack on him by insurgents and still he managed to achieve so many goals in his career as an advocate, social activist, counselor, and so on. Father Melvin OCD thanked the resource person, Dr. Paul, for the study, for all his wonderful contributions to the arms. At 11:15, Bishop George Paliparambil of Arunachal Pradesh was facilitated on his Golden Jubilee of Profession. Arms members, along with the Bishop Chakkalakal, joined the DBI staff and the students. At 11:30, Right Reverend Dr. George Paliparambil of Arunachal Pradesh delivered his address to the arms. He said that his diocese is of Myong, meaning the passage of valley in Chinese. It is a valley with mighty winds in the Brahmaputra Valley, wherein Arunachal is located between China and Burma, known as South Tibet. China claims it to be their territory. Bishop reached there in 1970. He was inspired by Bishop Rosario. The idea of mission and evangelization was instilled in him. Bishop Rosario visited every hostel during Christmas season with the slogan, "Each one, catch one." In 1990, 9 years jubilee from 1981 to 89, preparing for the centenary of Salvadorians, the pioneers of Northeast. He told Father George to carry this forward, his missionary legacy. During the time of Indira Gandhi, as its Prime Minister, Archbishop with the two men met her. 500 Christians were there. "Come to me when you have 50,000, she said. This is the missiology that is working now in Arunachal Pradesh. The church must grow, not in volumes of books, but in the actual ground. Once in 5 years during the election, the Brahmin and the Shudra come together, said. Vote is equal for both. Information we think, Father Silvanus said, "Are you a Christian?" Why? People asked. No, nobody told us about it. In 1982, we were not allowed to enter Arunachal Pradesh. Mother Teresa applied 25 times but never got a permit. Inner line permit system introduced by the British. Elvin Warrior, advisor for the governor, continued this. But now Bishop George said that during elections, every party comes for proposal of good candidates because they know we make a difference. Comparative study of Doni Paulo and Christians. In seminary, if you want to help you have the study Doni Paulo, which is not a religion but a cult. They have money with them. The seminary life, what do we do with mobile? He asked. Formators can only say this or that. Execution has its own limits. Last Sunday's readings, quoting the last Sunday's readings, he said, "What must I do?" The scribe answered, "Don't do this, don't do that." Jesus' method was different. Do this, love your neighbor. Not an easy answer anyway. We have to reach there, he said. A priest came to do his MTH, but didn't bring his breviary along with him. In his seminary, he would not see breviary. The bishop showed his breviary. Eventually, he went to Shillong to bring his things and brought along his breviary too. There may be the best people, but how to bring that out is the trick of the trade. In seminarians, we need the conviction that ours is a missionary call. Jesus made it clear, "I will make you fishers of men." He never changed that, especially in our context of India. If we are able to pass this conviction to others, we will be absolutely secure. Often we feel we have no hope, no force left. So also in Asia, all countries who received faith much later than us are far ahead, they said. In Vietnam, it was 8% a few years back. In 2023, they would be reaching 16%. he observed. In 2018, during Christmas, Bishop received a call from a sister. People were making crepe, and they were heard telling if St. Thomas had come to Arunachal Pradesh instead of Kerala, by now whole of Arunachal Pradesh and the whole of India would have been converted. Somewhere something has gone wrong in our policy. Lethargy is because it didn't grow from the blood of martyrs. It grew from the AC rooms. It didn't grow, it grew. Misplaced motivation is prevalent to be set right. Whether I am a principal or a district magistrate or a warden, we are missionaries. Synodality or circus? He questioned. Uniqueness of church is that we are all Christians, and this has to be brought to the knowledge of the seminaries. Church is a participatory body, a family. This will challenge clericalism also. Lack of involvement of others. People resent this. Anyone involved in mission is called by the bishop once in a year for discussion. This is synodality. Our knowledge of the Word of God has to reach people with various direct dialects. How to give the Word? Sacraments would be still difficult. Make the future priest aware of these difficulties of the theological language we want to translate to our simple people. The Word should be part of their lives. We need to cultivate basic human communities. Philosophy is more reasoning time. Theology time, they get already hardened. They may not accept all that so easily. The urge has to be domesticated and made practical. Are we missionaries or chowkidars of our promise? We have made ourselves like that. Jesus has not made us like that, he pointed out. We have so many commissions. Did we ever talk to Mr. Mohan Bhagavat? Not even approached him. Let us disarm Abrahamic religions. We Hindus do not have the mandate that we have, Christians have. Army is not useful for them. That's the logic of the fundamentalists, he pointed out. Father Philip Thomas thanked Bishop George Palliparambil for his impressive sharing of missionary endeavor in Arunachal Pradesh. With the grace over the meals by Bishop George, the session concluded. At 3 p.m., arms went on a cruise over Brahmaputra. It was a delightful sailing over the vast river flowing from China through the Himalayas, Nepal, Assam, and finally joining the Bay of Bengal in Bangladesh. We witnessed the Chhat Puja by the devotees of the river Brahmaputra. We sang songs in vernacular like Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Konkani, and so on, and also danced to the rhythms of music on the ferry deck. At 7:30 p.m., the director of DBI, Father Cletus, the staff and the students of DBI presented an extravaganza dance festival of the Northeast culture and folklore comprising of traditional dances from Assam, Meghalaya, Manipur, Nagaland, and Arunachal Pradesh. At the end, Father Cletus and all the alms fathers too danced to the music, and the Bishop Varghese thanked and blessed all the students who put up a delightful cultural show for us. The Thursday, the third day of Alms 2024, and the evening came, and then the night came, and everybody said it was good.